Hey everybody, Jonathan Bailor back. Especially excited about today's show because I have a delightful woman with us who's been a friend of mine, a collaborator of mine, and just an inspiration to me for years now. It's been longer. It's been a long time, and it's awesome because our paths are crossing in a brand new way. We both have new books coming out on the exact same day, and I couldn't be more excited to have seen an advanced review copy of her book. It is fabulous. It is extremely sane, and it is called Cave Women Don't Get Fat, and she is the Esther Blum. Esther, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Woo!
I love it. You're on that book launch adrenaline high.
I am. How can you not be? I mean, you're right there with me. It's so exciting.
I think it's wonderful. It's amazing to see too. Every year in the new year, there's always this push for books, but it's amazing to see this year of the books that are coming out, how many are really dialed into more of this quality push rather than this starvation mantra that we've been hearing for the past 15 years. And your book is no exception to that. Can you tell us a bit about it?
The book is about helping women find their own unique individual carbohydrate tolerance. Most women are not losing the weight they want to lose because they're eating either too many carbohydrates or not enough carbohydrates at the right time and too many at the wrong time. So what I like to do is declutter a woman's metabolism. I call it clearing out your metabolic clutter. And what I like to do is pare the diet down and give your metabolism a rest from insulin surges and cortisol surges, and put in simple English, that just means putting a woman on a clean diet of protein and fat and vegetables and fruit for 2 weeks and just letting her inflammation kind of calm down and starting to resensitize her cells to insulin. And then I have her add in a half a cup of a cooked starch that is grain-free, per week until she finds her unique tolerance. So that would look like an average day of eating would be, steak, meat, fish, eggs, lamb, some whey protein if you tolerate it, lots of vegetables, fresh fruit, and then lots of quality fat like avocado, nuts and seeds, coconut oil, dried coconut. And then eventually I would have her add in something like a sweet potato or winter squash or plantain that she's prepared herself, not fried plantains, Jerusalem artichokes or taro root. And what happens is these are still whole food carbohydrates. So the women on the plan tolerate the carbohydrates with very low sensitivity or allergens, but yet they still balance their blood sugar and feel great and start melting those stubborn pounds away.
Esther, I love that Jerusalem artichoke recommendation specifically because that provides a massive amount of a unique type of fiber, which has actually been shown to help heal. It is therapeutic for our gut bacteria, which is just amazing.
Well, and really, this is the first time in human history that humans have had to actually supplement with probiotics. We normally get our probiotics from fermented foods, sauerkraut, kimchi, kombucha teas, things like that. And now, if you buy a bottle of pickles, they're just soaked in vinegar. They're not properly or traditionally fermented. So our gut health is kind of a mess. We're exposed to a lot of GMOs these days. Even just regular wheat bread, it's all GMO. And even just sugar is GMO. So our gut is kind of at a critical juncture, and I kind of say, okay, let's return to our roots. Let's just clean out the riffraff and go back to basics and reset our metabolisms that way.
Esther, you are uniquely qualified to tell this story because from my understanding, you have ridden the carbohydrate roller coaster in basically every up and down that trend has had. Can you tell us a bit about your story?
My personal story? My personal story?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. Well, certainly, in my college days, I was vegetarian. I ate tons and tons of carbs. And growing up, I was not the poster child for nutrition. I mean, I remember in junior high school having chocolate chip cookies and chocolate milk for lunch, or bologna sandwiches on white bread, and cereal, constant cereal. And just dinner was about our only balanced meal in our house. and we had margarine because we were kosher, and I had tons of acne. I had terrible PMS and wicked cramps, and it really wasn't until I did my training under Robert Crayon's tutelage that I really understood and applied a whole foods diet to myself, and my skin never looked better. I ran the marathon in 2000. I never touched a lick of pasta. It was all whole foods. It was all sweet potatoes. I did have legumes. I did have brown rice and fresh fruit, and it was all a whole foods diet, and it really served me very well. I do not think I would have finished without that eating plan.
Esther, you're also uniquely qualified in a sense that there's a lot of, I'm going to just call a spade a spade. There's a lot of 20-year-old males talking about how awesome it is to quote unquote be paleo and do CrossFit. And you are not a 20-year-old male. You're a little bit more in touch with a different demographic, let's say. Can you talk a little bit about your unique life situation?
Well, I am in touch with those 20-year-old men, but they're not a lot of CrossFitters. A lot of them are what I call Poliquinistas. They trained under Charles Poliquin. They still do. But they are definitely paleo lovers. And it's really funny to me, I'm hanging out with these 20-something muscle guys with 6% body fat. And, I'm rocking my 40s right now, and I love that. It just feeds a great energy, and it just gives me a really great perspective, and it helps me keep my finger on the pulse of all generations. So yes, I work with everyone from, 20-year-olds to menopausal mamas and even senior citizens. And it really, as long as you can apply. That being said, I don't believe a paleo diet is for everybody. Some people just have to tweak it. I have a girlfriend who calls herself a vegan paleo or a paleo vegan, and she eats meat some days and other days she's all vegetables. So I really think you have to listen to your inner voice. And my goal in writing this book is to kind of give women the template and say, here you go. Here's the foundation of the diet. Now custom tailor it to your own unique needs. Maybe you need a little less protein until you get your digestion in order again. Maybe you need more protein to support your adrenals and your thyroid glands because you're in menopause and you need to pare down the carbohydrates. But I think, it's so hard to, right? You figure how many people is my book going to help? How much of the percentage is it going to help? And if I can help 50 to 60% of people, I am personally very happy with that because so many people are on such different ends of the spectrum, and Chris Kresser did a great point on his last conference call where he said, some people eat a diet that some populations eat a diet of 90% sweet potatoes and others eat a diet that's 90% meat, blood, and fat. But both diets are paleo. And I do agree with that. And I think you can't say there's one diet for all. The only thing nutritionists agree on is that everyone needs to eat more vegetables.
Well, it seems also that everyone should eat food. Actually, that's not true. There are some nutritionists that do not think that is true, but those are nutritionists that are in the old school.
I agree. It's astounding. It's really astounding. And I mean, I won't even get into the industry scandals, but yes, there are, there's a lot of corporate sponsorships going on for dietitians, and they're all companies that are built on GMOs. So it really doesn't make any sense.
Esther, you're also in your spare time, you are also a wife and a mother. What do your husband and son think of this, and how do they eat?
My son absolutely embraces all of it. He is gluten and dairy free, and we have a lot of fun doing, we do coconut flour pancakes on the weekend, and we do zucchini pasta with meat sauce. And he absolutely loves steak. He loves lamb. He's all over it. My husband is a slower convert. I mean, he is, I think if he had his druthers, he would eat bowls of pasta and every day and just live on pasta and cheeseburgers. So it's a slow process. But for him, I try and just lead by example and let him come to it when he feels ready.
How's that working?
We preach tolerance in our household. I cook my meals and I say, you take it or leave it. You enjoy it, have it. You don't, go make something else yourself.
Oh, I love it. That's the key right there is, this is what I'm going to cook. And if you want to eat what I want to cook, that's fine. But if you don't, you know what? The stove is over there. I love that.
That's right. Oh yeah. And ain't nobody got time for that. A, but B, what else is, there is So, pleasure comes even before nutrition. A person who is super, super happy and eats junk food can still have quite a long life and lead a long life. But if you have someone who's miserable and bitter and taking all the vitamins in the world and eating clean, you're still going to have a shorter lifespan potentially because, happiness is the greatest thing. So, I have become very philosophical about it. I really tried to convert initially. And after numerous failed attempts, I kind of just let it go. And I thought, this is his journey. It's not mine. And he can come to it when he wants to.
I love it. Well, speaking of philosophies and journeys and missions, obviously you've got the epic book here. What is next for you on your mission to communicate that cave women don't get fat?
So I'm going to be coming up as an appearance on the Today Show December 30th, and then I am launching my online programs mid-January, and it's going to be an 8-week conversion to paleo, gorgeous girls go paleo. And it's really educational and fun and teaches you everything from mindset to how to convert your kitchen to paleo to basic meal planning. It really gives you a great window and a lot of support. We're going to have online forums. We're going to have webinars. We're going to have chat rooms. It's going to be just a great supportive environment for somebody who is embracing this lifestyle and just wants to be part of an online community.
I love it. Well, Esther, where can folks go online to stay in touch with you and to learn more about that?
So people can live gorgeously on my website, livinggorgeous.com. You can find me on Facebook on my fan page at Living Gorgeous. You can find me on Twitter at Esther Blum, and you can find my YouTube channel as also Esther Blum. So if you just go to my website, it will lead you to Pinterest, Twitter, Facebook, all the good social media places. And CaveWomenDon'tGetFat.com, PaleoPartyGirl.com. It's all there. And
basically just type any word into Google and you will find, I'm just kidding.
Pretty much. And I just made t-shirts that say gorgeous girls eat me. And those are in my online store too.
I love it. Well, Esther, thank you so much for joining us today and for living this example, being the change we all want to see in the world. And for this fabulous book, Cave Women Don't Get Fat, which I would recommend everyone grab a pre-order copy of, or depending on when the show airs, just go online and grab it. It may be available. And Esther, thank you so much for joining us today. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you. Best of luck.
Thank you. And listeners, I hope you enjoyed this wonderful conversation as much as I did. Again, our guest today is friend of the show, Esther Blum. Her book is Cave Women Don't Get Fat, and her website is livinggorgeous.com. Remember, this week and every week after, eat smarter, exercise smarter, and live better. Chat with you soon.